won't go through the theory of obviously rare earth metals, but we can obviously see we're looking at NdPr, Dy and Tb as our four main products that are coming out of the rare earth project that we've got. But in Australia, we've got 682 million tonnes at just over 1,300 parts per million total rare earth oxides, or TRIO. We've also got a really high-grade zone of about 1,600 ppm TRIO, which is sitting at 119 million tonnes. So to give you an idea, some of our peers around the world are looking at 5 to 10 million tonnes per annum of processing production. So that's about a 20-year mine life expected just in that little spot there. And the good thing about our resource, we've only touched about 10% of the overall area, so there's a massive upside in terms of potential billions of tonnes being out there as well. Importantly for us over the last 12 months, we've really focused on, we've got a resource, we know that it's there, it's an indicated resource so we can do all our studies, but we've been focusing on the test work around metallurgical outcomes and trying to get a product that's saleable not just into China but around the world as well, so into France and other places where there's super high restrictions and specifications there. So we've been able to do that. I'll touch on that as we go through, but we've got a MREC that we've produced, which you can see on that slide there, that has a grade greater than 50% and 56 to 59%. Moving on, just touching on our resource, you can see there's the resource in red, but our little area, which is in the centre of that, it's the purple area, is the inside centre resource. So that's massive in terms of what we can actually do with the project going forward. So well beyond 1 billion tonnes. There's a bit of a view there of where it sits. Again, on the right-hand side of that slide, you can see that we've got a really deep, thick profile. So we've got about 10 metres worth of cover, then going into about 60 to 80 metres worth of rare earths. So low stripping ratio, easy mining from that point of view. I'll touch on the processing now. So there's some recoveries on that slide there. The recoveries this is overall recoveries to get an MREC product out, so not just your leaching profile. But we've been able to get 75% recoveries out of Nd and PR, which is really high. Anything again above 50% is actually good, and most people are only sitting around that 55, 56%. So high recoveries, good grade, obviously adds up to a good process. What we've also added into the process most recently, which is this processing figure here, it is a heap leach process, but we've also added in what's called a nanofiltration step. So nanofiltration takes the liquid that comes out of the heap leach and then recycles 85% of the acid back around to the heap leach. So massive saving for us in terms of operating cost, and also makes the project more financially viable, obviously. As I mentioned earlier, the whole process there leads to impurity removal and into a mixed rare earth carbonate. And we have also been talking with ANSTO about taking one little further step to produce a potential oxide as well. Not the whole 17 different rare earth elements, but potentially just NdPr and maybe DyTb. So we're really happy with where that sits. So a bit of a reminder of where we sit in Western Australia. We're in Esperance, just in the southern coast of WA. There's an existing port there. Iron ore gets shipped out of it. There's shipping lines. There's an existing town. And we're just under 100 kilometres away from that. So lots of good logistics there that we don't actually need to worry about. I won't really touch on this slide. There's a benchmarking slide. It's complex there, but it does go through a few different ASX-listed companies that are looking to be producers, from a heap leach through to tank leaching, in situ leaching, and then the hard rock guys on the right-hand side of that table there. Hard rock, obviously really expensive, $1+ billion to actually build those ones. But as you can see, as you go to tank leaching and then heap leaching, the capital cost sits somewhere between $100 and $400 million US. So we're a lot cheaper on the capital. Grade's obviously lower, but our opportunity there is getting the throughput into Australia. And obviously we've got a market capitalisation that can obviously go up as well. I won't touch on all the market philosophy around rare earths. Everyone can sort of read into Donald Trump, China, the rest of the world as to where that's going to end up. And I'll move on to our Gulf Creek copper project. So we acquired this project about a year ago. It's been a really interesting project. It was originally mined back in 1890 through to 1912, so over 100 years ago. There's been no modern day exploration or geophysical work being done on that. So it's an early stage, but the best place to look for a copper mine is next to or underneath an old copper mine, especially one that was mined 100 years ago. Its location, it's in New South Wales, just north of Sydney. So you've got Port of Newcastle that you might be able to see there. But so we're just north of Sydney, out of the main areas of farmlands and everything else. We had an initial drill program that we put in at the start of the year, just to confirm that A, there is copper underneath the old workings, which we did prove, and B, that we can look for the relationship that's turned up between magnetite and copper. So that then allows us to do a whole heap of geophysical methods in terms of where is the next area. It is a VMS system, so it's going to be, when this was mined, it was mined between 2% and 12% copper. So really super high grades once upon a time. It was sticking out of the ground, so they tripped over it. But now what we're doing is looking for other areas that obviously aren't emitting out at surface. As a VMS system, it's originally formed on the sea floor as volcanoes spewing out into the environment, and then it's been shoved up and faulted and folded. So there's always multiple repeat structures within VMS projects. There's a view there of the chip trays, so you can see as we go down, you can see the sediments, you can go see the jasperites, which is a key indicator of a VMS system, but you can also see 5 metres there of massive sulfides, so a couple of stories worth of massive sulfides, so good for us. There's another picture there on the right-hand side. You can see the old workings. You can see the drill hole that we've put underneath the old workings, and it's a confirmation that there is gold under there, copper under there. But importantly, it's the relationship between magnetism and copper that we're looking there. If you have a look at what that then means when we do some geophysics work and we actually put some magnetics across the top, you can see on the right-hand picture there's the Gulf Creek old working system that's on the top left-hand side of that picture, and you can see with the little targets is where we drilled. So the system looks to be continuing to go quite deep, but it also looks to be a massive feeder system that's potentially 500 metres in height or depth, whichever way you want to look at it, across that profile by a couple of 100 metres in width. So if we can prove that one, and also the 2 repeat structures that are obviously to the right-hand side of that as well, then there's potential for a Degrasser project system or Sandfire. We're actually just started drilling those 3 repeat structures last week, so it's a little bit of a sleeper, and over the next 5 weeks we'll get some results out to the market, and it could be a bit of a game changer for both the shareholders and OD6 from a copper point of view, but obviously our main aim currently is obviously rare earths. In terms of scale and potential, the picture on the right-hand side there, you'll see the magnetic signatures. You can see on the bottom side of that where the old workings were, and then the continuation of the magnetic profile that's coming out. That's also only one small part of the tenement. We've also got another old mine that's out there, never been drilled, never been tested since the 1900s. That one there is also potential massive upside, same electrical or magnetic signature that's out there as well. In terms of the company, ASX listed, so quite a simple company. We've got 200 million shares on issue, so good corporate capital structure, good mix of retail there, and also skin in the game from directors. The project itself, we've still only got a market cap of $13 million. On the rare earths alone nowadays, it should be about $100 million, and then we'll see where we get to with copper in the next couple of weeks and months in terms of that project. So that could be another significant project for ourselves. $3 million in the bank, so we're not looking for money, but we're obviously looking to get those results in and then see where we go from there. And that's us. Thanks for everyone listening, and thanks for your attendance.